So I says, yo, haha, it's all in the words.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? I hope I don't talk too fucking long because my computer, like fan is making noises or some kind of component is making noises and the shit's rattling. Gets on my nerves. But anyway, man, alright, check this out. I've always been involved with ideas and thoughts about the boyfriend, no, about the boy girl aspects of life. And took a lot of different experiences with females to get me where I am now. I'm not a hater. I don't bash women. Um, I don't bash women no more than I would bash guys. You know, I bash men and women equally because we be on some bullshit. But I watched this one video where a female was like she's about to tell some secrets about the female sex, about the females that that some guys just don't know. And it just reminded me of some experiences that I went through. You know, let's say let's go with let's go back with one of my earliest memories, and that's with going through puberty and how I seen a girl um, get played with by 5, 6, 7, dudes from the neighborhood, kids from the neighborhood. You know, we were in the back of my neighbor's house, and she was allowing herself to get touched and felt up. She put on the front that she didn't want to be touched, but that vibe wasn't there. Usually, when you know you're doing something wrong, you get an instant vibe. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit can pick up some wrong energy. You know what I'm saying? And you get the mind, the whole will of wanting to fuck with her even more kind of goes away if you're a decent person. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't. Um, I wanted more of her attention. I didn't get to do what the other guys were doing, and I wanted to. We used to play a game called Hide and Go Get It, and on that particular day that she was getting fondled, we were playing that same game, and that's how she was getting fondled because a couple guys found her, and I got to see parts of her body, and I was like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? I want to touch. You know what I mean? I felt my nature rise just by being there. And so, every chance, I ain't gonna say every chance, but there were, can you hear my computer in the background? That rattling shit. Anyway, there was 3 chances, 3 times after that it was me, her, my neighbor. It was his house that we was at, and he had a little sister, and I was insisting that we play hide and go get it. You know what I'm saying? I was hinting to it and things like that, and it just didn't go down. But here's the crazy thing about this story. She and I got into a fight. she would poke with me. You know what I'm saying? She'd try to get me triggered in different ways. You know what I'm saying? And argue, push and shove each other, and things like that. And that's when I learned about the whole thing about if a girl likes a guy, she just won't come out and tell him, but she'll act like she don't like him, like reverse psychology. And so we did get into a fight, and it was a wrestling fight. You know what I'm saying? She when she went to go swing on me, I ducked and ended up getting her in the position, and from that position I ended up getting her into a headlock, and I tried to ram her head up against the wall. You know what I'm saying? And kids was around like fight, fight, fight. This was in 5th grade, and so it was like after that moment, she treated me differently. As in, she smiled at me more, and you know what I'm saying. It's just one of those things where you like somebody, and when you walk past them, you turn to look to see more of them, and when they look back at you, it makes you feel good inside. But that's what it was like. And although this shit was strange, it was just a natural thing. And then I remember, years that had passed by watching National Geographics or Mutual of Omaha documentaries, and it talk about, the mating season of different animals, and when a female animal is in heat, but she is looking for the dominant male, and so she just won't let any scrub, you know what I'm saying, come and get a piece, mate with her. And I was like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Just like, human nature, we just, we're so selective and shit. And we're selective, to pass on our genes. Even though now that I look back at it, it's like not all of us think on that level. A lot of us are just selfish, and we follow our hormones, and that's all we think about is that pleasure, that physical pleasure. And for some people, that physical pleasure is an escape from emotional dramas. Some people put on so many different masks, and it's crazy. Yeah, I think it's real crazy how if you're young and dumb, if you're just ignorant to your place in the world and your own individuality and how nature goes, you know what I'm saying? You can be a very, very lost person. So back to this video of old girl, spitting, game about how females be getting over on guys. It's that friend zone. But from the way she was coming at it it's after a girl and a guy had sex. And whether the relationship was good or bad, they ended up splitting up for whatever reasons. And then she ends up, putting the guy in the friend zone. But old girl from the video, she was like, at that point in time, you ain't nothing but a bench warmer. The guy is nothing but a bench warmer. There goes that fucking rattling noise, man. But once that guy is a bench warmer, he's going to get used for whatever she's wanting. You know what I'm saying? And I remember being a bench warmer before, and I hated it. Man, I hated it. I remember there was a girl, her name was Ann. I remember her last name and everything. we went to like 2 different schools together from 2 different districts, and I liked her from the first school we went to. And when I found out where she lived, she let me know where she lived, and I used to go and visit. And I would, just be like, "Yo, man, why don't we just, try this whole relationship thing, this whole boyfriend girlfriend thing?" And she would be on that level of, "No, because if we go there, then you won't be this friend that I like. You won't be this person that I like." And she said, "I know myself." She was like, she know that when she hook up with guys, things change for her. It don't be the guy's fault. And on one level, I respected it, but on a selfish level, on a sexual level, I was like, man, fuck that. Not to her, I wouldn't say fuck that. Well, I guess I did. A few times I was just like, man, it don't even matter, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, let's just try this shit out. I was cool enough with her parents to come visit her at the house. No, I wasn't, because every time I went there, her parents wasn't there. But anyway, I had a few other experiences with females that had me in that friend zone. And it was some uncomfortable shit. That whole bench warmer thing was some uncomfortable shit. And then I remember the times that I had flipped it on females, and they wanted to get with me, be with me in relationships or sexually. And, I just played them off, you know what I'm saying? And they wanted me even more. What's that saying? You want what you can't have type shit. It goes both ways. Females and males, they do it to each other. It's just some wild shit. And so, I can remember I had a neighbor that lived across the street from me. Me and him was cool. He tried to get me on. He kept trying to get me on to join the football team for the school that he went to, and I was like, nah, I ain't interested in that. But he had a younger sister. I think they were like maybe 2 years apart. I was interested in her. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, and her mom and their mama was mean as fuck. You know what I'm saying? She was, I ain't gonna say mean, but she was mean as fuck. She was the type of parent that would discipline her kids whether they had company or not. And she would go hard on the daughter. But I got to have my way with her, with the daughter, one time. She liked me, and she allowed me to, touch and feely and all that kind of good shit. Only once. It was just once. And it's like, when you go through that shit, as you're going home and as you think about it overnight or the next couple of days, you just sit there and you be like, woulda, coulda, shoulda. And I had so many of those moments where I had been with a female, and it just, we didn't have sex. And I sit back and I think about woulda, coulda, shoulda. But this whole thing between men and women, it's like, I'm not against relationships. What I am against is ignorance. And when I was growing up, I could tell that a lot of the females that I was able to have my way with, one, they just, if they was taught something about being a decent female, they just totally went against it. Two, if they wasn't taught, they should have been taught. Three, I ran across some females that I wish they would have let me have my way with them. You know what I'm saying? But I also knew about how boys and girls, men and women, could manipulate each other, use each other and shit. I had seen it in so many other people's relationships. And it makes you sit there and think, why is this person with this other person? You know, she deserved better or he deserved better, that type shit. And I couldn't be that guy that would dog a female out and just have them lose their mind over me over some crazy shit. You know, just, I couldn't be a fucked up person to a female. I couldn't be that fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I most definitely talked my way into having sex with females. And I'm not saying that I had game like that. It was a mutual thing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't rape them. And it's just one of those things where they gave me their bodies, you know what I'm saying, by choice. I enjoyed sex all through my years of growing up and being around women. I enjoyed it. I really did. It took me a while to lose my virginity. I remember I was dating a virgin, and man, Lola was she was that homely girl. Her mama kept tabs on her. Be like, don't you get off that porch. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your little brother and your little sister while I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? If anything happened to them while I'm at work, it's your ass. And then every now and then, her mama would let her come out and chill with me, you know, out in the yard or at the park down the street. You know what I'm saying? She would, I got, my real name is unisex name. So she would tell her mama who she was going to go to the park to meet, but her mama didn't think that she was going to go meet a boy based off of, you know, my name. And so we had chilled a couple times, and the fucked up thing about this story is, about a year or two after I had stopped, you know, going to visit her, I found out she had gotten pregnant. I was like, get the fuck out of here. As a matter of fact, I left the state to go live in another state, and when I came back, that's when I found out. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And I was like, yup. She had one kid and had another one on the way. I was like, God damn. How could that be? You know what I'm saying? And then it goes to the thing of, was it a good thing that I didn't fuck with her? You know what I'm saying? Because it seemed like, you know, within that time that I was gone, you know, she got real freaky deaky and ended up getting pregnant. So, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things of, you know, she wasn't raped. You know what I mean? She just gave it up. She gave up her draws. She gave up her virginity and ended up having 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? And this shit's crazy. It's like, I remember, you know, being 17 and getting and being in a relationship with this female that I really liked. I really liked her. And the story goes, it's like she and I, we were in the same class together, but she was a grade below me. I was a upperclassman. She was a grade below me, and but she was smart. And so my homeboy, I ain't even, me and him, we was alright. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't. It's not like we'd fight for each other, nothing like that. But we clowned around and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And so he started fucking with her, and we had this deal. He knew I liked her, and it was just one of those things where we actually talked like grown ass men. Like, he was like, "Man, I don't even like her like that." You know what I'm saying? But I want to get them draws. And I was like, "Damn, man." I was like, "She's a cool chick though, man." And he was like, "Man, I tell you what, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do my best to get them draws, and then I'm gonna leave her alone." I was like, "Alright then." And some time went by, and I noticed that he wasn't fucking with her no more. And when I went ahead and asked her, she was like, they wouldn't fuck with each other no more. You can feel the vibe between them in the classroom, but she was mad at him, feelings was hurt or whatever the fuck, and he was just like moving on to the next chick. And so that's when I knew I can go ahead and do what I wanted to do and talk my shit. We ended up getting into a relationship. I ended up getting expelled from school, and we started fucking. And I remember the day that my condom didn't pop. My ignorant ass, I nutted, and instead of stopping to change condoms, I just kept going. And when we finally stopped, cause I nutted like 2, 3, 4 times. You know what I'm saying? She busted hers, and so as we were just laying there, just chilling and shit, talking, it was time for her to go ahead and take a shower and go home. And she came in my room, and she went to the bathroom and everything, and she came in my room. She was like, "Where did condom go that you had on?" And I was like, shit. I was like, "Man, you know what? I don't even remember taking it off." And we freaked the fuck out. We tore the bed up. We looked under the bed. Well, we couldn't look under the bed because I didn't have a frame. But we looked all around the bed and all around the pillows, and shook out the sheets and the blankets. And she ended up going to the bathroom, and she came back with it. I was like, "Where was it?" She was like, "It was deep in me." I was like, "No shit." She was like, "Man," she was like, "I had to stick my whole hand up on my shit." And I was just kind of like, And she explained to me, she was still, wet. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I didn't do my job, but her body hadn't calmed down completely, so she was still loosey-goosey. And so she got that condom in. When it comes down to the point of her getting pregnant, you take that day and you expect 9 months from that day for her to have labor. But it wasn't like that. She ended up having, she ended up having the baby like 2 or 3 months prior. I mean, you know what I'm saying, before that time limit. And that always made me doubt the situation, you know what I'm saying? I was like, for real? But anyway, I say that to say this. Even though she didn't want me in her life and in my child's life, I stayed listed so she could always find me, and she didn't want nothing to do with me. And when I watched this video of a girl talking about how women, have they bench warmers, what I'm saying? They'll put a guy in the friend zone and, have him stick around so she can, ask for favors, or just to have a guy around whenever, she didn't feel like being lonely or something and didn't want to go kick it with her homegirls. It just made me feel grateful that I didn't run across a lot of these females, because it's just one of those things where I was in the position where a female just wasn't going to fuck with me, or I had met few females that was like, I like you, but I know if we start fucking and trying to go into a relationship, things ain't gonna work. We're better off as friends. And that's the part that I hated that. I hated that. I really did. It was just like, man, because I had a plan. I was like, yo, and I would tell this to girls. I'm like, we don't need titles. We don't need to call each other boyfriend and girlfriend. The whole point of it is if you want to fuck with me, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got to call yourself my girlfriend or nothing. Just be who you are as an individual in this world, in this place, and know that you are supposed to be somebody. Just like I know I'm supposed to be somebody, and I know there's some kind of some destined plan for me, and we could fucking grow together, share our knowledge, share our fruit with each other. You know what I'm saying? We could fuck, you know what I'm saying? Or we don't have to fuck, you know what I'm saying? But if we just want to get to know each other and grow up, you know what I'm saying, with the idea that one day we'll be wise, and you know what I'm saying, we will know each other's in and outs, and we could be some better mates at that time in the future. And females just was not feeling that shit. They were not feeling that shit. And I was a weirdo to them for thinking like that. And it's like I ain't gonna say I had to, but I dumbed down to a lot of females just so I could have some sex. And it's like, it's like trophies, collecting trophies. You know what I mean? The more females that I could have my way with, the more, notches on my belt, per se. You know what I'm saying? It's like being like, yo, here's another female, you know what I'm saying? Another victim, maybe, I don't know, but. And then there's a lot of females that I have met that told me that they were doing the same thing to me. It's like I remember this one female from Kansas City, I believe. And her homegirls used to go to these cowboy clubs and get guys drunk, or find guys that were drunk and steal their wallets. And they'll come back from their night and clown these dudes, just talk mad shit about them, how stupid they are, just it was like, man, for real. It's like this female that I'm fucking with, we was fucking, she had her own place, and I would chill at her place and things like that. She used to be like, look, check this out. I used to babysit her daughter, basically. She'd be like, once you stay here with my daughter, you got full access to the house. If any niggas come to the door, you talk your shit, You know what I'm saying? Just know that I ain't fucking with no other nigga like I'm fucking with you. I ain't fucking with no other man like I'm fucking with you. So if any other dude come to the door, he's a bold-faced liar. I ain't fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I might have some enemies, so watch your back or whatever. But she was like, basically, you the man of the house. You know what I'm saying? While I'm gone, man up, take care of my daughter. And when you come back, I'm going to be hot and horny. And I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, take care of you. And she did that so many times. It was a good fucking position. You know what I'm saying? It was a good fucking position. She was the first female that wanted to eat my ass. And the last. That shit was not for me. I'm like, yo, that, you know what I'm saying? She was eating my ass, asking me like, how you like it? And I'm like, man, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this shit. I'm going limp. You know what I'm saying? It is one of those things where I didn't want to kiss her no more for the rest of that night. But anyway, it's like, man, this thing between males and females, it's like, yo, even thinking about, the president and the vice president. This is 2022 and the president is Joe Biden and his vice president is Kamala Harris. And it's like he's using her to get votes. You know what I'm saying? To get him into the he used her to get votes to get into the presidency. As you know what I'm saying, he just used her for whatever perks and advantages that he could get with brown folks. And at the same time, it was negative because a lot of the conscious brown folks was looking at her like she do damage to us too. You know what I'm saying? So, these different relationships between man and woman, when I go back and I think about slavery and I think about the lynch letter, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, to divide and conquer us by all means necessary, basically. Starting with the woman, because the woman is going to, you know what I'm saying, give birth to children. And it's her job to put something in their minds to benefit the slave owner. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. And even, you know what I'm saying, her peers, her male peers, it was like her job to cause so much division between them. You know what I'm saying? So whenever, in the modern day, when I was growing up, whenever I met females that would date 2, 3, 4 guys at the same time, and when gang banging was starting or whatever, there was females that would date a Crip and then go date a Blood. You know what I'm saying? Just to get her kicks and to get different benefits. And it was like, man, this shit makes you it pisses you off. You know what I mean? Or it pissed me off. But since I wasn't developed as much as I am now, I just knew how to stay clear from most females and the games and the tricks that they play. And I remember this one time I was in a relationship with a woman that wasn't from my same race, and we got into it one night, just petty shit, and I told her like, "Go on, girl, get away." You know what I'm saying? Take your ass in the living room, leave me alone. She talking that shit, running her mouth. So I went to go smack her on her ass, and I ended up slapping her waist. And she was gasping for breath, and you know what I'm saying, I hurt her. and she started throwing shit. And it was crazy that my mom had called at that time. It was like, "Hey son, how you doing? Blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Man, ma, going through some shit with the girl. You know what I'm saying? Blase blase." My mom's was like, "Just don't, put your hands on her." I was like, "Well, I did, but it was, by accident and shit like that." And my mom's was like, "Whatever you do, don't escalate anything else." But old girl ended up calling the police. As a matter of fact, old girl called the police before my mom's had even called. And I told my mom that, and I was like, "So I'm sitting here waiting for the police to come. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna run because I really ain't did shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now if they gonna do anything, they gonna sit back and, put me in handcuffs for fucking with, somebody outside my race. You know what I mean?" But they ended up telling her she had to leave the house because she was aggressive towards me physically in front of them. And I was like, "See, I told you." I had my calm demeanor and all that shit. I'm like, "Yo, this ain't on me, this is on her, she tripping." So, it's just one of them things where I'm like, man, parents really gotta teach their kids the ins and outs of life at an early age, and they gotta keep drilling it into their kids, along with all the other dynamics of, parenting. A kid gotta be educated and well-rounded by the time they leave their parents' house. But anyway, let me get off of here, man. Fucking I done ran my mouth, and this damn computer's getting on my nerves. I'm pretty sure if you can hear this shit, you probably done tune me out and all that kind of good shit. But anyway, it's just one of them things where it's like, man, if you are thinking about relationships, you gotta really, really, really be in check and be in tune with yourself first. And then whoever you're interested in, you really need to ask a lot of questions. And you can't just settle. You can't just settle because you can't trust people. Because a person's going to tell you what they want you to know. And they say that action speaks louder than words. So if you don't give a person what they want when they want it, you can see a mood change. You can feel that energy change. So it's a lot of shit you got to pay attention to as you're fucking with somebody that you're interested in. And then, nowadays, people are more openly having same-sex relationships, and you still got to be careful. You can't just sit there, like two guys are trying to have a relationship. You can't sit there and think that everything is going to run smooth just because the person is the same sex as you are, and you think you know what it is to be a man and all that shit, and your partner, knows the same thing. You can't trust a person to have the same level of knowledge that you have about life and they self. So you gotta really be careful out here. It's a dangerous fucking world, and people are using each other left and right. Jobs are using the employees are using the bosses. One way or another, somebody's trying to come up, while the other person could be doing something decent, but more than likely, everybody is trying to use somebody for something. But then there's that moment where you'll find somebody who are really interested in you being the best person that you can be, and they're willing to invest in you, and they don't want nothing in return. So it's just, you gotta be real careful, man. You gotta learn how to see all these differences with people and with yourself, because you can't hide from yourself. You can't run from yourself. You could lie to yourself, but once you start lying to yourself and lying to other people, you're just as trashy as anybody else who's fucking full of shit. But when you're honest with yourself and you being decent towards other people, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get your feelings hurt, because it's one of these things of, why does it have to happen to you? Why somebody doing this to you? You know what I'm saying? You don't deserve it, because you know what I'm saying, you're the good person in this. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things, man, where I've seen a lot of good people get hurt. When you fuck with that religion shit, you know what I'm saying, you got religious people that question, you know what I'm saying, what kind of God allows this to happen and that to happen and this to happen to such good people? You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up, It's real fucked up. That religion shit, it's a killer. It's a killer. It's a spiritual killer. All that shit. You got a lot of people that are motivated by it, and they'll swear by it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta believe. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. But what is it to say if you're not evenly yoked? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't fuck with people. If you're not a religious person, you shouldn't fuck with religious people, because you're gonna bump heads on certain things, and there's no reason to bump heads with anybody. But I'm gonna get off here, man. Fucking I want you to take care of yourself. Take care of anybody that you can, and best believe, don't waste your energy on people who don't deserve it. Here's my disclaimer, and I'm gonna get out of here. I'm not the smartest person, but I'm not the dumbest person either. I've done my research on some things, and there's a lot of shit out there that I still need to do research on, or that I can do research on. What I need you to do is to question everything that I'm talking about. Do your research on the shit that I'll be talking about, and form your own opinion about the shit that I'll be talking about, and most importantly, share your opinion with other people, because you never know when somebody's thinking about the same thing, but they don't have anybody to talk to. They might not be thinking it at that time, but they might have thought about it before, and just didn't have anybody to talk to. And it's a lonely world out here. And a lot of us, we think, a lot of us call other people weird for not thinking the way we think. So, we gotta treat each other right. We gotta treat each other better. We gotta stop killing each other over senseless bullshit. You know what I'm saying? As a culture, as a people, there's no reason for us to kill each other. We should be helping each other, because there is a civil war out here. And I know I'll be saying some words that these bots that are ran by the government over the internet will throw up some red flags, and they're like, yo, we can't let this video circulate because he done said too many triggering words. You know what I'm saying? They get rid of people who talk sense. And like I say, I ain't the smartest person, but I've had some experiences that helped me put myself in a position where I just don't fuck with people like that. You know what I'm saying? I make these videos, but other than that, you know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm at arm's length. You gotta hack my shit to find out who I am. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you what I want you to know, but there's so much more about me that you don't know. And I respect everybody else's space. That's what I like about making these videos, because when you see the title, it's your choice to click on it or not. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me get out of here. Take care. Peace. And sorry about this noise. I'm gonna put my shit in the shop here pretty soon. So don't let that stop you from coming back to my channel. You know what I mean? I got other videos. I got other channels. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to plant a good seed, a positive seed, in anybody who's willing to, take that seed and let it grow. Spiritually, mentally, all that kind of good shit. Add it to your collection of good seeds. You know what I'm saying? So you can create a great farm to feed other people. That type of scenario. Alright, take care. Peace.